This is Johnny Valtown in Valtown, Seattle. Here I am back again for the second show. Anyway, what's going on in the background is you're hearing the big bands, dearly beloved, romantic gems of the past. You know, gems of the past. The big band era. I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire by the Ink Spots. Well, good evening. What's going on here in Stratosphere Radio video is we're gonna blast off here with a bunch of things, but what's concerning right now is that in our world we're going through so many things, and I decided to kind of end the old topic stuff right now because I think that it's big enough that we need to know about what's going on with the electromagnetic attacks in our world. There's droughts, there's financial collapses, there's all sorts of things happening, and it's funded by the elite. But the idea being is, now don't get me wrong, there are people that are fighting this, even at the top. So don't think that I'm bringing on a whole hate fest here on everyone that is in charge, large and in charge, if you will. But anyway, so I felt this was very, very needed at this time. Most of my show prep is being taken from George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM. I hope he can forgive me for doing this. But however, it just hit me that this needs to be talked about. Droughts across the United States. And we're not talking about it today, but droughts across the U.S., across the world. Now, as you know that I'm on electromagnetic weapon myself, V2K, so forgive me if I mess up a little bit, repeat myself, just please have patience. But what's going on also too is right now the shocking truth about churches and budgets is in frame one. So remember that you can log on, or the link that I'm going to leave in this piece is very simple. I'm going to have it linked on there so that you can actually just look at my 8 frames that I have going. The elite in the world that be right now does not want to hear from me. So therefore they're making it very hard for me to speak. I don't know a lot about technology. I'm green behind the ears. I'm doing my best. And this can be cut off at any time. Just know that I'll get it reset and try to do it. How do you like my new specs? Much love to my audience. Anyway, the shocking truth about church budgets, frame one. There are many closed churches in Seattle. What's going on is the internet won't let me access any of the list of churches that have closed as of recent or in the past due to low attendance and also due to the fact that they don't have enough money. So the idea is when I look up something, they won't let me look it up like normal. Things disappear and everything like that. The New World Order does not like the way I speak, talk, or even socialize. They don't like me at all. So therefore what they do is have me totally blocked in. And I am stalked and blocked to try to make me look like a liar. Google, Microsoft deny me all the use of the stacks, and churches are really going down in Seattle. They need to get federal matching state funds to feed and house the homeless on mats. That's how they're keeping their churches afloat. Again, they need to get federal and state matching funds to feed the homeless and to bed them on mats. And there's even one, I understand, which I ran into and I'm going to look up, is that there's one that is actually providing some type of, I don't want to go as far as to say abortion services, but some type of Planned Parenthood. Yeah, and I can't believe this. And it is said to be a Catholic church. I will look that up. So these congregations are not like congregations of the past, where you're actually able to pass the plate. You can't just pass the plate. and get all the donations that you need for your reconstructions, for your programs of any type. There's not enough of people actually in these churches. It's like those old Western cartoons with Western buildings. When you shoot them with those falsetto bullets, the walls fall down, and there's only a stage or nothing behind them. So anyway, passing the hat or passing the plate is not cutting it anymore. In fact, many churches, excuse me, did you see that? And in fact, many churches have grant writers on staff. That's right. And in my next blog, video, anyway, next time, this host, Johnny Belltown, in Belltown, is actually going to tell you about how these grant writers, many of them have more power than God within their own congregations, because they're the ones that actually go and get the money from government institutions for the churches. A paradigm shift. And here and across the world, most churches gave into the New World Order. They went corporate. Still, with churches giving up power, they don't have the protections they desire and have to go underground because of persecution. Face it, the devil lies. And, persecution and demolition seem to be the order of the season. More on this is found on my Google page or Google account, Johnny Belltown, on Google+. And then now the second frame, Ancient Realms. Ancient Realms 12, Atlantis. So, I used the show prep again from coast to coast, but not all of their material is on here. The words are all mine that I'm adding to it. Many realms of God and man, there are many. More on this can be found on my Google account again. There are many different realms in the spirit world and many different realms of rulers. In other words, many rulers rule these realms. The devil is ruler of the air. http://gotquestions.org/Prince Power HTML. That's a link you can look up for that. And the devil is ruler of this world until God puts all of this underneath his feet. It's in the Bible. Now, Bill Gates rules coding, internet, etc. Boeing and Airbus rule another realm, that being air flight. And NASA rules space flight, along with companies in Russia. Wall Street controls markets and even the weather. Look up http://weatherwars.com or .information. That's right. http://weatherwars.info/. Wall Street funds weather manipulation and weather wars. Again, Wall Street funds weather manipulation and weather wars. Now you see, they're already hacking at this video big time. And so this is what happens to me. They blast the ionosphere and create hot spots on the earth, eroding the ozone layer. Weather wars blocks normal weather patterns. More on this later. So they block things, again, like they do to me in some ways. They make hot spots by blasting the ionosphere, which is actually the ozone layer, and therefore we have hot spots on the earth. And we're losing crops, we're losing all sorts of things. Excuse me. Yeah, and they don't have a pause button on this either. Yeah, all of the companies took over my computer to where I don't have a pause button, and so that I can continue. Otherwise, if they did, I'd probably actually get it all ripped off and have to actually redo it again. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, liars don't like the truth. Remember, liars don't like to hear the truth or see the truth. Anyway, the third frame, celestial bodies and terrestrial bodies. 1 Corinthians 15:14 through 44, King James Version. The Bible speaks of multidimensional bodies and spirits. There are spirits of heaven, hell, and earth. All of these dimensions, celestial, terrestrial bodies, differ in power and capabilities. So therefore, many different bodies live in the heaven, hell, and earth, and the bodies, they all differ in terrestrial bodies differ in power and capabilities. Again, one more time, celestial and terrestrial bodies differ in power and capabilities, just as heaven, earth, and hell differ in climates and differ also too in the rules that are in the DNA of their structures of climate, etc., etc. Now the flesh is the corruptible and subject to sin and sickness. The spirit is incorruptible, not subject to sin or death. Now, the spirit lives on forever. For understanding, if you are a Christian, your flesh sins and your spirit cannot sin after you are saved. And your spirit lives on forever. Again, that's according to theology and also to the doctrine and dogma of Christianity. And in this next section is multidimensional. In other words, take a look on Google Plus where I'm at, and you can look at spirit, body, and see if they can live in different dimensions. And actually, it has not been proven whether they can or not, but it sure does seem so in some instances. Now, fourth frame, Bible verses about hell. The Bible doesn't say much about anything coming out of hell. In other words, plagues or anything like that. It doesn't really speak a lot about that. The plagues and seals come from the sky, heaven, for judgments of peoples, and don't forget the vials from heaven. Here's the link for that. http://www.biblegateway.com passage/?. As search equals Revelation plus 168 version equals King James Version. So now, if you want this journalist's opinion, the motivation for the wars was the vials, plagues, and seals that were being put upon man, or that were in future reference to it. Heaven, there's many more that wanted the policy of do no harm. Anyway, biowarfare and bioengineering is in the next segment of this on Johnny Belltown on Google Plus. And then right now, up next is droughts. I'm going to let you go right here for now because I'm going to have to put this into two different segments because I know that this is on a 15-minute cycle. It is now about 14:30. So I got to let you go and start another one. So I'll be with you in just a moment. God bless. This is Johnny Belltown in Belltown, Seattle. Thank you.